God exclaims, "I am extremely weary of attempting to communicate with you." Tonight, a genuinely frightening thing will occur. It is critical that you receive this information now, as it will be lost in the next 35 seconds. Please do not proceed past this point, as the information you are currently getting is not a coincidence or an arbitrary event. I have attempted to speak with you on countless occasions, and while you have recognized my attempts in private, you have continued to ignore them. I'm speaking now because time is running out for you, and the events that will take place tonight will have a significant impact on your life. Failure to recognize this may result in the loss of a vital turning point designed to protect, guide, and raise you from the silent load that has been pulling you down. If you are convinced, kindly enter Amen. I am not speaking in anger, but with urgency and worry for your future. The indicators I provided to you have caused you to become preoccupied, overwhelmed, and sometimes numb. This is why my voice is now stronger, as this moment cannot be postponed any further. Tonight, a shift is on the horizon, and your reaction to the knowledge I am delivering will determine whether it is a blessing or a struggle. You've recently felt an extraordinary sense of heaviness, as if something is about to happen, but you can't put it into words. That sense is not dread. Rather, it is awareness, the outcome of my efforts to prepare your heart. I see what you don't, and I'm aware of what's going on in the backdrop of your life. I'm contacting you now to keep you from wandering into the movements that are happening around you without your knowledge. Take a moment to listen carefully. This is not a little warning. The material that will be revealed tonight is critical and will reveal the secrets that have been kept from you. While some of these realities may be comforting, others may be upsetting, yet they are all necessary for your development and safety. I'm not intending to scare you. Rather, I'm trying to rouse you. I'm now requesting that you slow down and allow your heart to open, as I need your whole attention. If this has reached you, it is because you were meant to hear it at this exact moment. Show your support by liking this video, which helps spread important information to people who need it before it's too late. Your request for change has been continuing, whether or not you express it clearly. You've been hoping that something in your life will shift, break, or finally work in your favor. Tonight is related with that ambition, but it will not emerge in the way you imagined. Sometimes the trip to your breakthrough begins with an occurrence that shakes your sense of security and forces you to face the truth. I notice how you have been quietly bearing loads, pretending that everything is okay, when within you are exhausted. I am aware of the thoughts that cross your mind late at night when no one is present. I am aware of times when you feel as if you are losing direction despite your best efforts to remain focused. That is why I am speaking now. I am unwilling to let you enter the future without understanding its ramifications. The circumstances surrounding you have yet to be completely disclosed. It could refer to an individual, a decision, or a hidden reality. Tonight, a certain aspect of it will be disclosed, forcing you to reassess your position. You may be surprised, even amazed, but keep in mind that I am completely aware of everything that happens tonight. To confirm, type yes. Dalnisse. Refrain from reacting out of fear as events begin. Remember that I am with you even when things seem uncertain, and stay composed. This sensation of shock is not intended to damage you. It is meant to guide you. It is intended to protect you from an entity that, if concealed, may have caused more severe agony. You have previously ignored your intuition, which is why I am speaking with greater power today. I need you to trust your instincts when the scenario changes tonight. Do not dismiss it. Do not overthink it, and do not let others suppress what you feel in your heart. I instilled that awareness in you with a purpose, and it will grow stronger this evening. This moment is also associated with a benefit, even if it does not appear to be so at first. At times, the very thing that makes you nervous is also what makes you feel liberated. In certain circumstances, what looks to be a disruption is in fact a gateway opening. You are being prepared for a better scenario, but you must first identify the elements that are no longer relevant to your life. I would want to beg that you remain present tonight. Avoid distractions, do not deny your emotions, and do not ignore the information provided. Pay attention to your own reactions as well as indicators and comments. Every incident is significant and will lead you in a new direction. No, you are not alone in this, no matter how overwhelming it may seem. I am always at your side and I will not let you dissolve. Despite your doubt, there is a purpose that you will soon understand. I am currently working in ways that are not yet apparent to you. Have faith in my ability. You have yet to fully embrace your own inner strength. You will be able to see that strength tonight, even if it comes through a difficult discovery. You will react differently than in the past since you are no longer the same person. The upcoming events are not arbitrary. It is a part of a larger shift that is now occurring in your life. I'm in the process of restructuring, removing unneeded material, and preparing you for future events. Although it may not be immediately evident, the goal will become clear as time passes. The first thing you see may seem trivial, and it is easy to overlook if you are not paying attention. It could be a slightly off-kilter discussion, an unexpected communication, or a feeling that suddenly intensifies. These aren't random interruptions. These signs are meant to raise your awareness. I'm bringing your attention to them because they will help you understand the genuine nature of the events unfolding in your area. Someone in your life has not been completely upfront about their intentions. You may have trusted them, or you may have had misgivings but chose to ignore them. Tonight, a certain part of that connection will become more obvious, changing your impression of them. Clarity is a type of protection that I am offering you, so don't be concerned about this knowledge. I understand that some of you are concerned about change, especially when it comes to people or situations to which you have grown used. However, comfort can often persuade you to stay in situations that are no longer appropriate for you. The sensation you are feeling tonight is not meant to cause you pain. It is designed to free you from a creature that has been subtly hampering your growth. I'm removing anything that isn't in line with your future. Furthermore, there is a part of yourself that has been patiently waiting for its moment to shine. You have hesitated from expressing your voice, truth, and strength because you are concerned about the outcome. Something within you will awaken tonight, and it will be unable to keep silent. Internal transformations are as significant as external changes. If you believe in Jesus, enter 1212. As events unfold, you may experience a range of emotions at the same time. Confusion, relief, worry, and even an uncommon sensation of calm may combine. This is because you are approaching a moment of truth, and truth has a propensity to have ripple effects before being resolved. Avoid avoiding these emotions since they are guiding you toward a deeper understanding of your course. As the evening progresses, I'd like you to keep in mind one important point. You're not being abandoned or punished. All of the activities taking place are part of a process designed to move you closer to your desired destination. Even the components that cause discomfort are beneficial to your health. Tonight, a routine in your life gets interrupted. It is a phenomenon that has materialized in a variety of ways, impeding your advancement by trapping you in cycles. You may not have seen it with the clarity you seek earlier, but you will begin to do so tonight. The instant you see it, you will be unable to ignore it again, and this marks the beginning of transformation. During periods of ambiguity, you sought clarity. You've thought about the causes for the persistence of particular events, the closing of specific entrances, and the persistence of certain feelings. Tonight is related with those inquiries, and the information released will begin to address them. The comprehension may not be gained immediately, but it will begin to build. I encourage you to believe in me even if the circumstance does not seem to make sense at first. It is not required to know all of the answers in order to build trust. It is related to my conviction that I can perceive what you cannot. Maintaining that trust will give you the fortitude to face even the most uncertain conditions. You will realize that I am providing you with step-by-step instructions. There is also an opportunity hidden within this moment. It may not be immediately noticeable, but it is there. When an object is removed or revealed, space is made available for new things to be introduced. The new beginning is already on its way to you, but the old must be cleansed first. You are more resilient than you realize. Despite the fact that you have faced conditions that may easily have destroyed you, you have survived. Whatever happens tonight, your fortitude will sustain you. Despite the severity of the situation, you will not have a breakdown. Keep track of your thoughts and feelings as the hours pass. Avoid allowing fear to dominate your senses, since it will attempt to distort reality. Remain grounded in the fact that I am with you. I am guaranteeing that you remain firm even in the face of apparent uncertainty. Your energy will undergo metamorphosis. You may feel lighter in some regions and heavier in others. This is due to the fact that you are entering a new stage of life and giving up what is no longer yours. It's a transition, and transitions can be difficult until they're resolved. Additionally, you may notice changes in your self-perception. Something previously confusing about your identity or direction will begin to make clear. This clarity will allow you to proceed with more confidence. You are evolving into a version of yourself that is more aligned with your mission. Do not be surprised if certain events culminate tonight. Not every ending is negative. They are often camouflaged as beginnings. Making place for something greater is the core of what disappears from your life. I promise you that I am directing these changes on purpose. I want you to keep your composure and equilibrium regardless of the situation. Breathe, observe, and listen to your inner voice. I am connected to that voice, and it will guide you in any situation. There is no reason for haste or anxiety. Maintain your presence. Protection exists despite the fact that it is invisible to the naked eye. I am making certain that you are not harmed in any way during this procedure. The information being shared is intended to be beneficial, not damaging. Carry that reality with you as you navigate the evening. Tonight will serve as assurance that you are not the same person you were before. You have grown in subtle but true ways. This development allows you to manage the upcoming events. The tug should not be ignored, as it is your spirit's acknowledgement that something major is happening. When you focus on that experience, you will begin to connect with my actions in your life. By ignoring it, you further yourself from the clarity you want. A moment is approaching when you must make a decision. It may not appear to be an important decision at first, but it will have far-reaching consequences for your future. I am currently suggesting that you be aware of that time, as your response will have a greater influence than you may realize. Make your decision with confidence, not fear, and let your intuition guide you. You've been taught to doubt your talents at times, especially when the situation appears ambiguous. However, tonight I implore you to overcome your uncertainty and trust your intuition. You will not get the clarity you need from outside sources. It will come from within you. That is where my advice lies, eagerly awaiting your attention. Additionally, a release is taking place in your life. Something you've been holding to for a long time is losing its hold on you. It could be a concept, a conviction, or a relationship that is no longer beneficial to your personal growth. Tonight is the time when that release becomes obvious, and it is critical regardless of the emotional consequences. If you believe in God, enter the number 222. Refrain from opposing what must be destroyed, even if it seems familiar. The comfort of familiar objects can sometimes keep you from moving on to a better experience. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you open the door for new opportunities. Your next chapter begins in that location. You have sensed a reality about your life that you have yet to fully accept. Tonight will push that fact to the forefront, making it more impossible to ignore. This is not designed to overwhelm you, but rather to reduce your emotions of doubt. When you accept the truth, you will feel a sense of clarity that has previously been absent. Even if it may not look so, you are being guided to a place of power. Strength is not usually audible or easily visible. It occasionally develops silently within you. Tonight, your resilience will show in your attitude to the circumstances. You will notice that your reaction is less consistent than it was previously. There may be times when you feel as if you are being tried, as if everything is pushing you to return to your former ways. That event is crucial because it illustrates the scope of your personal growth. Making a different decision disrupts a long-standing cycle in your life. That is a huge shift that will alter your course. I've noticed how dedicated you are to retaining your cool in the face of adversity. I've been seeing your silent conflicts when no one else is aware of them. You are more resilient than you realize as a result of those events. Tonight is the night when that power starts to act in your advantage. Furthermore, you may notice that your perspective begins to change. Things that were once confusing will start to make more sense. This is due to your ability to perceive them with heightened awareness. This shift in viewpoint is what allows you to proceed with confidence. A sense of rejuvenation is emerging in your neighborhood. Despite the fact that it appears to be coming to an end, there is also a fresh start. Part of my strategy to moving you into your next season is to keep this balance of beginnings and endings. Have trust that both happen for a reason. It is not intended that you remain in your current place. There is more for you, including more growth, peace, and purpose. Even if it is not immediately evident, tonight marks a huge step toward that future. Each action you take now brings you closer to your destiny. As events develop, keep your focus on the current moment. Avoid pushing ahead or becoming fixated on the possible outcomes. Concentrate on the current circumstance and respond with awareness. This is how you stay on track with the path I've set for you. Also, I'd like you to keep a reminder. Despite whatever emotions of isolation you may have, you are not alone. I am always present for you, offering direction, protection, and support. Regardless of how murky the situation appears, my presence stays with you. There is no need to be concerned about tonight. Rather, it is an opportunity to grasp. The sensation of shock is just the outcome of previously hidden information being disclosed. Furthermore, when objects are exposed to light, their ability to confound or manipulate you decreases. This is the process via which one gains clarity. Although it is not immediately clear, you are being prepped for something more crucial. Each experience you have helps prepare you for the future. Tonight is an important part of that preparation, and it will take you closer to your goal. You may notice that your thoughts become more concentrated, as if they are being guided in a new path by an external force. This is not an accident. I'm guaranteeing that your thinking is in sync with the knowledge you need. Your behaviors are the direct result of a shift in your beliefs, which is the mechanism by which change occurs. Even if it seems strange at first, do not reject this mental clarity. Tonight there will be a point where it will be difficult to deny. It could be an unexpected knowledge, an epiphany, or a conversation. You'll remember that moment since it was accompanied by a sense of security. When it happens, don't dispute it. It's the confirmation you've been waiting for. You've spent time thinking about your course, unsure whether you're heading in the right direction. Tonight, the process of addressing those uncertainties begins not just through verbal conversation, but also through practical practice. Your perspective will shift, and this metamorphosis will act as a guide for your journey. You may feel overwhelmed for a brief period of time when previously suppressed emotions emerge. However, such sentiments are not intended to harm you. They are here to help you recuperate. Allowing yourself to experience them without resistance helps you remove the burden that has been pulling you down. You have carried things in quiet, figuring that you are responsible for managing everything on your own. However, it was never intended that you bear that burden alone. Tonight is a reminder that you are supported in invisible ways. Every moment I am by your side, guiding you through uncertainty. There is a connection in your life that will become clearer tonight. It may be more robust or revealed in a different light. In either scenario, it will help you understand your current position and the role it plays in your life. Moving forward with confidence requires clarity in relationships. Do not be concerned about the changes that may occur. They are a necessary part of personal development. The movement of an object provides an opportunity for a more appropriate substitute to emerge. Regardless of how uncomfortable it is bringing you along a route that is more in line with your emerging self. You are not experiencing a loss. You are in the process of developing. A sense of direction will also emerge within you. You may not have received conclusive answers in the past, but tonight will offer you with a beginning point. Although small, it will be sufficient to guide your subsequent activities. Trust that path, and it will take you farther than you expect. You are entering a new level of consciousness which modifies your viewpoint on everything. Things that were once incomprehensible will start to make sense. This lucidity should not be dismissed. It serves as a basis for future expansion. The more you rely on it, the stronger it grows. There may be times when you feel compelled to return to your prior habits or behaviors. The significance of that moment stems from its potential to highlight the distinction between your former and evolving selves. By choosing to advance rather than retreat, you affirm your progress. That decision will decide what happens next. I see the effort you have made to understand your existence. I see times where you were disoriented but persisted in your efforts. Those moments were not wasted. They prepared you for this. Tonight represents the beginning of the integration of those events. Furthermore, you may notice a shift in your self-esteem. Doubts that once held you back may begin to fade. Uncertainty may eventually be replaced by confidence. This is part of the change that is happening within you. This new version of yourself is required for a future task. That is why this moment is taking place. You are being well prepared for the upcoming events even if you do not fully understand them. Have trust that everything is happening at the right time. Maintain a sense of stability while the situation evolves. Avoid allowing anxiety or doubt to control your thinking. Concentrate on the tangible, the understandable, and the emotions you feel. That is the location of your guidance. You are not the only person going through this. I am with you at all times, guiding you through each stage. Even when things are unpredictable, my presence remains steady. Regardless of the circumstances, you can count on that. Your current state of being is more than just a temporary sensation. It is a long-planned change. You are developing the ability to see past the distractions that previously dominated your attention, and this clarity is altering your perspective on the world. I have been discreetly aiding you at all stages, even when you felt solitary or doubtful. Those peaceful moments start to connect tonight, revealing a clearer route ahead of you. Enter 333 for clarification. A developing sensation of awareness exists within you, and it will last past the conclusion of the night. After seeing the information that has been revealed, it is difficult to return to the former condition of circumstances. This is the start of transformation, not with huge announcements, but with quiet realizations that shift your perspective. You are now entering that sphere of comprehension. Tonight, you may have a remembrance of specific thoughts or memories. They aren't returning to confuse you, rather they're returning to help you recognize something you might have missed before. They will start to make sense if you analyze them with your increased insight. This is part of the process by which you gain comprehension and advance. In addition, your perception of people changes. And somebody who was previously trusted may now appear to be different, or someone who was previously neglected may suddenly become more visible. These perspective shifts are not accidental. They are sharing the truth. The truth is revealed, and you are empowered to make informed judgments about your path of action. To welcome abundance, dial the number 888. Do not be concerned about the information that comes to light, especially if it is unexpected. The visual display is intended to guide you, not to damage you. Clarity, which has the potential to remove illusions, can be uncomfortable at first, but it also brings a sense of release. Confidence is available when one is not confused. You have reached a point in your life where a change is required despite your inability to explain it effectively. The manifestation of that shift begins tonight. You will perceive its commencement, though it may not occur all at once. That sensation confirms the formation of something new. A long-hidden fortitude is now developing within you. You may not have realized it at the time because you were focused with your own problems, but they played an important role in your development and prepared you for today. In addition, you are being directed to overcome the fear that has been limiting your growth. Tonight is proving that you are more capable than you previously thought, despite the fact that fear can force you to hesitate, doubt, and second-guess yourself. Giving up fear lets you reach your best potential. There may be times when you are unsure of the next step. You are entering uncharted territory, therefore this is a reasonable reaction. However, ambiguity does not imply that you are lost. Rather, it indicates that you are progressing. When you believe in the process, you can see where you're going. I want you to remember that everything happens for a reason. This circumstance is not arbitrary. Even the most puzzling passages lead you to a significant destination. I tell you that I will guide you through every step of the process. A sense of calm will also emerge even in the middle of pandemonium. It can show in ephemeral periods such as quiet comprehension or a sensation of calm. The peace you feel is a reflection of your agreement with the circumstances that are unfolding. Keep it because it will offer you with steadiness. Even if you were uninformed, you have sought clarification. Tonight, that request will be handled in a way that you can understand. The graphics you are currently seeing are not intended to scare you, but rather to provide you with direction. Let it guide you. Despite your desire to delay, a part of you is ready to move forward. Your inner strength is represented through your readiness. When you listen to it, you make progress toward your goals. Ignoring it means continuing in one's current posture. It is not intended that you remain in your current place. A greater wealth of growth, peace, and purpose awaits you. Tonight marks a step toward that future. Each insight you are currently having is preparing you for the forthcoming occurrences. Pay attention as the events develop. Do not try to control the situation or move too quickly. It is critical to allow events to unfold in their own time. This is how you stay on track with the path I've set for you. You're starting to recognize patterns that used to guide your decisions. These tendencies were not always evident, but they had a substantial impact on how you responded to people and situations. Tonight, those patterns are progressively losing their grip on you. Gaining a comprehensive grasp of them allows you to make a different option which has a significant influence. Your sense of self-worth has shifted. You have underestimated yourself in ways that have stifled your growth. However, a force within you is starting to emerge, reminding you that you are capable of more. This revelation will affect your words, behavior, and how you allow people to treat you. Enter the word Amen to develop fortitude. You may notice that certain circumstances no longer have the same influence on you as they did previously. What used to elicit strong emotions may now appear distant or insignificant. This is not attributable to your growing disinterest, but rather to your personal development. Your perspective changes as you mature, and this new perspective brings you peace. In addition, you will feel a sense of assurance about a topic that was before uncertain. That certainty will come from within you, not from external validation. When it arrives, have faith in it because it is consistent with the information I am providing you. It will give you the confidence you need to move on with your plans. You are being prepared to make judgments while being true to your principles. You may have been too affected by others in the past, but you are now learning to listen to your own inner voice. I'm connected to that voice, and it won't lead you wrong. A sense of liberation will persist. You are giving up anything that is no longer a part of your life, even if it is strange. Although it can be tough to give up control, it is necessary for personal growth. The act of giving up what impedes one's growth gives a chance for good change. In addition, you may feel a stronger connection to your objective. Although it may not be obvious at the moment, you can tell you are on the verge of something major. Your intuition will guide you step by step. As you stick to it with confidence, it will progressively become clearer. A component of you is ready to go without hesitation. That section has been waiting for clarification, and it is now beginning to carry out its obligations. When you listen to your inner readiness, your path becomes clear. Don't fight the impulse when you feel it. However, you are also learning to trust on the process, even when it appears to be unpredictable. Trust is not dependent on knowing all of the answers. Rather, it is a belief that one is being guided. When you stick to your conviction, you can enjoy peace even in the face of change. That serenity keeps you stable. Others may begin to notice a shift in your vibe. It may be beyond their comprehension, but they will face it. This is because you're becoming more aware of your genuine identity. When you are in alignment, your presence takes on a new level of power. Additionally, you may notice that certain opportunities begin to emerge. Although they may look small at first, they are inextricably related to your growth. Pay close attention to them since they act as stepping stones to something larger. Each opportunity represents a chance to improve. I'd like you to remember this as the situation unfolds. You're not alone in this attempt. I will be by your side throughout the procedure, offering you guidance, protection, and support. You are entering a new stage of your life, one in which clarity replaces confusion and strength replaces uncertainty. This phase will introduce new challenges, but it will also allow for fresh development. Despite the fact that it is unfamiliar, you are ready for it. Keep a sense of solidity as you progress. Avoid allowing anxiety or doubt to control your thinking. Concentrate on the tangible, the understandable, and the emotions you feel. That is the location of your guidance. Tonight is displaying that strength in a way you can't ignore, and it will start to affect your future decisions. Enter 666 to achieve calm. You are beginning to realize that not all parts of your life were meant to last. Certain elements were simply designed to teach, mold, and prepare you. When their purpose is fulfilled, they begin to dissolve, which might be unnerving at first. However, the act of leaving provides space for what is meant to last and grow alongside you. You are changing your approach to situations that formerly made you feel overwhelmed. You are gaining an increased sense of inner serenity, knowledge, and control over your reactions. This is not something that happened overnight. Rather, it is the result of your growth. Tonight shows that you are no longer the same person you were. To claim your breakthrough type, yes. You may notice that your attention is drawn to a specific thing. It could be an event, a notion, or an individual who suddenly feels significant. This emphasis is not haphazard. It directs you to a subject that requires comprehension. Concentrate on it as it will help you understand. In addition, you are feeling more accountable. You are beginning to realize that your selections are more important than you previously thought. Every decision you make influences your path, and tonight serves as a reminder of that. You will get closer to your goal if you make decisions with wisdom. You have had periods of indecision about your line of action. You queried as to whether you were on the right track and sought out indicators. Tonight, those questions will be answered with clarity rather than confusion. The material provided to you is intended to serve as a guide for your future endeavors. Some of you have been expecting this moment. It was tolerant even when you were unsure or disoriented. It is now ready to proceed and will not hesitate. This is the part of you that is conscious of your worth and purpose. In addition, you may feel relieved as if a burden has been lifted off your shoulders. Regardless of whether you were conscious of it, that weight had been with you for a long time. Tonight, the weight starts to go down. As it advances, you will feel liberated and lighter. A new degree of clarity is approaching in your life, altering your perspective on all subjects. It will affect not only your decisions, but also your understanding of your past. Things that were once incomprehensible will start to make sense. This clarity is a gift meant to serve as a guide. You are being groomed for an event that will require this higher degree of consciousness. That is why this moment is taking place. The phase you're entering requires your whole concentration and consciousness. This awareness will help you determine the following steps. A sense of alignment is also emerging. Even if it is not immediately evident, events in your life are starting to align. This alignment is the result of your eagerness to improve and personal growth. Have confidence that everything happens for a reason. You may find that you are no longer interested in the things that once attracted you. However, it is not a loss. It is an indicator of your progress. Your hobbies and priorities change as you grow as a person. This is part of growing into the person you are meant to be. You are about to encounter a profound awareness. It will not come from logic, but from within you. Have entire faith in that moment. It is pointing you to the next stage of your trip. You are not the only person going through this. I am by your side, offering you guidance, safety, and support as you advance. Even when things are unpredictable, my presence remains steady. That's a credible source of information. Maintain a sense of stability while the situation evolves. Avoid allowing anxiety or doubt to control your thinking. Concentrate on the truth and your internal experiences. That is the location of your guidance. A silent turning point is currently occurring within you, and it is more powerful than any previous experience you have had. Although it is not audible, you can feel it in your center, as if something is settling into its rightful position. That sense isn't confusion. It is a state of alignment that guides you to your desired destination. I have carefully guided you to this point even while you were unable to understand the way. Enter the number 9, 99, to receive divine timing. You're increasingly recognizing that each experience you've had served a purpose. Delays, disappointments, and even feelings of being lost all helped you grow. They were not intended to shatter you, but rather to strengthen you. Tonight, the strength manifests itself in a tangible way. A consciousness is forming within you that will not fade. You cannot return to your original perspective after observing objects from this angle. Growth operates in this way. It fundamentally transforms your outlook. It rewires your mind to attract money like a magnet, as shown scientifically by 4 neuroscience labs. Formerly destitute people can now afford luxury homes, new cars, and exotic vacations. However, this information will not be available for an extended length of time. Click to view the description and comments before they are permanently removed. You may feel compelled to separate yourself from previously significant activities. That is not a state of confusion. It's a state of clarity. You are evolving, and so are your priorities. By implementing that modification, you will move closer to your goal. There will also be a period in the future when you will feel tremendous peace, despite the uncertainty that surrounds you. That tranquility does not stem from your circumstances. It originates from within you. It shows that you agree with the existing situation. Maintain that calm, since it will serve as your guidance. You are being prepared for an even higher task, one that requires your whole consciousness and attention. This is why this moment is so intense. It is significant. You are entering a time in which your decisions become more important, and you are ready for it, even if you are not fully conscious of it. Your life is currently undergoing a release that will last past the end of the night. You are giving up possessions that are no longer beneficial to you. This release paves the path for new experiences and opportunities. Have trust that the departure of something will pave the way for something better. You may also notice an increase in your confidence. You are progressively gaining confidence in yourself, no matter how slight. That faith is what allows you to act without reservation. When you believe in yourself, you are on track to follow the road I have set for you. A moment is approaching when you will be forced to retain your conviction. It may not be simple, but it will be necessary. At that point, you'll be able to see the amount of your own growth. Your metamorphosis is validated when you make a clear decision. You are not the only person going through this. My presence is with you at all times, bringing you protection and guidance. Despite the ambiguity, my presence stays consistent. Regardless of the circumstances, you can count on that. You're also acquiring a feeling of direction. Although you may not be able to see the complete path, you can sense the direction you are being steered in. That sentiment is adequate to guide your subsequent activities. Follow it with confidence, and it will become clearer. You've been anticipating a change or transition in your situation. Even if it does not appear as you expected, the transition is already happening. Change frequently manifests itself in subtle ways before becoming evident. Tonight is part of that commencement. Maintain a sense of stability while the situation evolves. Avoid allowing anxiety or doubt to control your thinking. Concentrate on the tangible, the understandable, and the emotions you feel. That is the location of your guidance. You now see that the delays you perceived were actually moments of preparation. Each time an event did not go as planned, it had an unexpected impact on you. Tonight shows that no resources were squandered. Everything you've done has led you to this awareness. There is a shift in how you manage uncertainty. Previously, it may have made you feel nervous or hesitant. However, you are now acquiring the ability to remain calm in the face of uncertainty. That calmness is a source of strength that is growing within you. Type yes to claim divine protection. You may notice that your reactions to events that once intimidated you are changing. You are gaining serenity, heightened observance, and a decreased proclivity to react. This isn't because things are easier, rather it's a result of your increasing strength. Your ability to adapt has been boosted by your progress. You're also developing trust. You should have faith in both the circumstances that are unfolding and in yourself. You are becoming more confident in your abilities to handle any obstacles that may occur. That conviction is what allows you to act without hesitation. You are being guided to the point where you no longer need constant affirmation. You are learning to trust your own intuition. My advice is based on that understanding, and it will not steer you wrong. Listening to it allows you to move with clarity. You are about to feel a powerful sensation of validation. It could be the result of a scenario, a conversation, or an undeniable sensation. The objective of that confirmation is to remove any remaining ambiguity. When it arrives, put your full trust in it. You have been holding expectations that are no longer aligned with your current trajectory. Tonight is helping you release those expectations. By letting go of your preconceived assumptions about what things should be, you allow yourself to accept their genuine essence. That is where actual development occurs. In addition, your outlook on the future has changed. The situation may have been confusing in the past, but it is finally taking shape. Although you may not be able to see every detail, you can determine the direction. Your intuition will guide you step by step. You are transitioning into a more aligned, aware, and confident version of yourself. This version of yourself is not constrained by the same uncertainties or fears. It proceeds with purpose and clarity. Tonight is part of that change. You are acquiring a quiet confidence which will grow over time. You may not express it out loud, but it will be clear in your actions. This certainty is not based on external confirmation, but on your own grasp. This makes it resilient and sturdy. You may also feel relieved as the situation stabilizes. Although tonight's events were marked by times of high intensity, they also brought about a sense of resolution. What was before baffling is now starting to make sense. Peace is the product of clarity. I'd like you to keep in mind one essential point. You are exactly where you should be at this moment. Even though the road was previously obscure, it is becoming increasingly evident. Have faith that you are headed in the right direction. You're not alone in any of this. I've been with you every step of the way, guiding you even when you weren't aware. Keep the insight you've gained. This clarity will influence your next steps. Something within you has crossed a line that cannot be reversed. You are no longer confused, and you can feel the difference even if you are unable to adequately explain it. This is the result of every realization, feeling, and moment of clarity that has occurred. The initial shock has faded into comprehension, and this understanding is starting to impact your following behaviors. In accordance with your goal, dial 111. You are starting to see your life from a different perspective. It is not hidden by the same uncertainties or distractions that previously surrounded you. Rather, a peaceful confidence is developing within you, guiding you. Although not noisy, this assurance is strong enough to urge you forward without doubt. You are currently feeling a higher level of trust. You are developing confidence in your ability to control the situation as well as the events that are taking place. Because of this trust, you may move on without fear controlling your decisions. When you believe in yourself, you are on track to follow the road I have set for you. To achieve divine alignment, say, Amen. Your energy may appear to have changed. Even if not all concerns have been totally handled, there is less heaviness and more clarity. This adjustment indicates that you are entering a new phase. It is a phase in which you grow more aware, grounded, and linked to your mission. Additionally, a sense of finality is emerging. Things that were previously considered unfinished are beginning to stabilize. You may not have all of the answers, but you have enough knowledge to move forward. That is all that is needed at this moment. You are no longer the person who ignored the signals or suppressed your emotions. You have observed and experienced what was necessary. That realization transformed you. It has strengthened and equipped you with the tools you need to face the challenges that lie ahead. You are approaching a point where you will act with great confidence. There will be no doubt or overthinking. Instead, it will stem from a sense of assurance. Every realization you made today will be validated at that moment. When it happens, don't think twice. You've also started the process of overcoming the fear that has previously held you back. The fear may remain in its attempts to materialize, but it no longer has the same hold on you. You've seen beyond it, and this changes everything. When fear is overcome, one achieves freedom. You will continue to have a sensation of calm. It may emerge briefly at first, but it will eventually grow into a more powerful force. This peace is not dependent on your circumstances. This is the consequence of your alignment. Keep it, because it will be useful for guidance. You are entering a new level of consciousness which will continue to evolve. What you have witnessed tonight is only the beginning. As you proceed, more information will become clear. The way ahead will become clearer with each step you take. Also, I'd like you to keep a reminder. You're not alone. Not now, not ever. I've always been by your side, guiding you even when you weren't aware. This will not be altered. In the coming days, you may notice that your priorities move even more. Items that were once considered significant may lose their importance. This is an important part of your personal development since it directs you toward what is actually meaningful. You are now fully aware of the strength that exists within yourself. It has always existed, but it is now palpable. This fortitude will allow you to face whatever challenges may occur. Have faith in it. It is an essential part of your identity. Keep a sense of solidity as you progress. Avoid letting old behaviors reintroduce you to ambiguity or doubt. You have gained a sense of clarity which serves as your current guidance. Adhere to it with confidence. You have now reached a point where your consciousness is no longer vulnerable. It is steadfast, rooted, and based on your most recent experiences. You may feel the peaceful assurance building within you as what was once unsure begins to take shape. This is not the end of the demonstration. This represents the beginning of a new way of life for you. Enter 1313 for guidance. You're starting to realize that clarity doesn't come suddenly. It is exposed in strata, with each layer revealing a deeper truth. One of those levels was raised tonight, and you can now see items that were previously hidden. This is the step-by-step process for moving from bewilderment to comprehension. You've gained a new sense of power, but it's not about regulating everything in your environment. It refers to the ability to control one's response, mental process, and decision-making. This sort of control produces peace since it is not based on fear. This is built on the foundation of awareness. Claim your strength by typing Amen. You may notice that your mind is clearer than it has been in a long time. Previously jumbled thoughts have become more focused. This insight is not temporary. It is part of your own development. When your mind is clear, you can travel your route more easily. Furthermore, a deeper level of acceptance is forming within you. You're starting to accept things as they are without trying to change them. This assent does not imply that you have waived your rights. You've reached a point in your life when you no longer need to pursue the same level of answers. You progressively gain the answers you seek through a combination of awareness and cognition. This shows that you agree with your plan of action. When you're in sync, things start to make more sense. A moment is approaching when you will ponder on the significance of this evening. you'll see that the initial bewilderment was a type of advice. That realization will cause you to feel grateful. You will understand that no resources were squandered. Furthermore, you are learning to rely on the timing of your life. Although not all occurrences take place at the expected time, they do so at the proper moment. Tonight is part of that timing, and it is directing you toward a larger objective. Have faith that you are exactly where you need to be. There is a quiet assurance that is slowly integrating into your personality. It is durable without the necessity for loudness or visibility. Your decisions and actions will be guided by this confidence. It will allow you to act without hesitation. Furthermore, you may feel an amazing sensation of release. This release is the outcome of giving up what no longer bothers you. When you let go of what holds you back, you make room for something better. It is in that place that your development continues. A deeper connection is forming between you and your purpose. You can sense the full picture even if it is not yet apparent. That sentiment is adequate to point you in the proper direction. Follow it, and it will direct you to your desired location. You are no longer at the same location as you were before. You have made progress, however subtle it may appear. That movement represents progress, which is significant. Each decision you take right now shapes your future. You will also feel more relaxed. Despite the uncertainty around you, you will find a sense of security within yourself. Stability is your strength. It will keep you focused regardless of the circumstances. You are already preparing for the upcoming events. Although you may not be able to see every detail, you may be confident in the procedure. Everything is proceeding as planned. Keep your feet on the ground as you move. Avoid letting old concerns or uncertainty to obstruct your growth. Your guidance is the clarity you've gained. Keep it with you as you move forward. The causes for the precise events that occurred are becoming clearer. What was previously seen as unjust or confusing is beginning to make sense in a new light. This does not end your pain. Rather, it gives it meaning. When pain serves a purpose, it becomes a source of strength rather than weakness. Step into your calling by typing yes. You may also feel a sense of alienation from your old self, but in a positive way that displays personal growth. The person you were earlier may not have understood the facts you now possess. This is why you were motivated to do every action necessary to become the person you are today. Pay close attention, my beloved child, because this is the sign for which you have prayed. Refrain from turning away and don't dismiss this as a coincidence. There's nothing random about this moment. This contact between my heart and yours was planned by me, the Lord your God, and I am presenting these words to you as a holy response to your most fundamental cry. You requested confirmation, and I am providing it at this time. You requested a sign, and it has been granted. You've been hoping for an indication that I haven't abandoned you. I am directly speaking to your spirit to declare that I have seen you, heard you, and have never abandoned you. This was not an accident. This heavenly appointment was written in eternity, long before the beginning of time, for the exact moment when your heart would be ready to receive the gift I had prepared. You've often asked, Lord, do you see me? Can you hear me? Are you concerned about the situations I am facing? I can guarantee you that I see you, my child, with absolute conviction. You're being heard. I love you with a love that is as vast as the heavens and as profound as the oceans. Every quiet tear that fell during the night, every sorrow too heavy for words, and every whisper of prayer has been collected in my hands. Your suffering has not been overlooked for a single second. I have observed every trial, and today I am responding. This is the miraculous response you've been expecting. Do not allow the adversary to deceive you into believing that this is intended for someone else. No, my dearest, this is meant for you. I'm addressing your heart, spirit, and journey. I am breaking through the cacophony of this world to inform you that I have heard your most profound cries and have arrived to confirm the information you have long desired, that you are not forgotten, that you are not ignored, and that the miracle you have been waiting for is already happening. The adversary wishes for you to question, doubt, and dismiss this time as if it were usual. However, I caution you to not retreat at this time. If you dismiss this word, you will miss out on the blessing I have planned for you. Please remain with me. Pay close attention to every sentence, since I have the key you've been looking for. I am aware of the burden you have been bearing, my child. I am conscious of the weight on your chest when you lie awake at night. I am aware of the fears that pervade your thoughts, suggesting that nothing will change, that your prayers are hollow echoes, and that your ambitions are degrading even further. However, I am present to inform you that those reports are untrue. They do not begin with me. They come from the opponent, who wants to trap you in despondency. I am now violating those falsehoods with the truth of my word. The fact is as follows. I did not abandon you. I have not delayed because I am indifferent or unkind. I have delayed because I was preparing you for a message that you are only now prepared to receive. I guarantee that the experience you are about to embark on will render every season of anticipation worthwhile. Observe, my beloved, how I supported you even when you thought you were walking alone. Consider the past. Can you remember those evenings when you cried till you couldn't find any more strength? I was present, cradling you in my unseen arms and murmuring hope into your spirit. Do you recall occasions when you thought the storm would destroy you? I was the shield that kept you from being taken away, the anchor that held you securely. Despite your reservations and inquiry, I did not withdraw. I now declare to you that the season of silence is coming to an end. The door you have been anticipating is about to open. The miracle you thought was impossible is now within reach. This is your indication. Heaven's confirmation that your cries have reached me and that my hand is in motion on your behalf. I am aware of the questions that preoccupy you. Why has it taken this long? What's the reason for the difficulty? What motivates me? I implore you, my dear. Punishment was not the cause of the delay. It was an act of preparedness. Your faith was strengthened by each tear. Each adversity has a tremendous impact on your soul. Each loss refines you, just as fire cleanses metal. You believed that you were destroying, but I was constructing. I was surreptitiously shaping your future, despite the fact that you thought you had been abandoned. I was coordinating events, relocating individuals, and changing seasons until the precise moment when everything came together, which you were unable to see. The current moment is that instant. That is why I led you here to this very word, so you would not miss it. This isn't just another message. This is the designated time. So this is the solution. This is the sign that you requested in the dark. My darling, do not be apprehensive. Refrain from justifying it. How often did you murmur in the silence, God, please provide me with a sign? And how many times did you beg the Lord, if you were still with me, to notify me? I declare to you with absolute authority that I am with you. I'm on your side. I'm advocating for you. I am preparing the path for you. This message confirms that your pleas have not been in vain. The adversary wished that you abandon me, believing that I would remain silent permanently and accept less than what I had promised. However, you did not quit. You maintained your grip, even when it was unsteady. You persisted despite your dwindling optimism. Additionally, I am compensating you for your persistence. This is the signal that you have been anticipating. If your tranquility comes from above, Lord, I will find comfort in you. My beloved offspring, you must understand. This isn't just about comfort. This is a request for action. I am not giving you the sign to let you remain passive. I am giving you the sign you need to get up, take a faith-filled stride forward, and embrace the unstoppable miracle. Avoid being paralyzed by dread. Do not allow uncertainty to stifle your voice. Please do not allow the voices of others to overpower my declaration. This is a question of personal conversation between ourselves. I am etching this statement in your memory. Hold it in high respect. Keep it in close proximity. Be it the fire that propels you, the anchor that supports you, or the light that illuminates your path. Remember this moment when the enemy approaches to question it. Whenever fear convinces you that it was all a coincidence, remember my voice. Remember how these words pierced your spirit and brought tears to your eyes when you doubted they were meant for someone else. That was not an error. It was my fault. I am the God who interacts with you through seemingly small whispers, nudges, and signs. That was me, the moment of sudden tranquility that you experienced in the midst of pandemonium. I was the door that opened when you thought all was lost. I was the unexpected source of encouragement that emerged just as you were about to give up. Presently, this message serves as my identity. I am the one who created this moment, the one who precisely prepared every detail that led you to this exact moment, these words, and this minute. There is nothing arbitrary about this. My strategy was in place before you were born. You wanted a sign, and I, the Lord your God, affirm that this is it. Therefore, my dearest, do not retreat. Please do not proceed past this point. Do not let distractions deprive you of the riches I am pouring into you. This is the heavenly response to your most sincere cry, the confirmation you needed, the undeniable miracle. I am present. I'm presently engaged in chat. I am relocating. I am fulfilling my obligation to you. Hold this word in your heart and let it light a fire of trust that no storm can extinguish. This is your sign. This is your opportunity. I have chosen you, I have heard you, and I adore you. This is an unequivocal response from the throne of heaven. I'm speaking to you with a voice that carries the weight of eternity and an unfathomable love, my beloved child. Please lean in closer. I have observed each tear that has escaped your eyes, including those that you have attempted to conceal from the public. I've been at your side through every sleepless night, when your mind wouldn't stop wandering and your heart ached with questions too heavy to bear alone. I heard every mumbled prayer, even the one that seemed to dissolve into the solitude. No scream has gone unanswered, and no request has been ignored. I have been by your side at all times, embracing you, preserving you, and anticipating the appropriate moment to disclose my hand. That allotted moment has now arrived. This is the miraculous reaction you've been waiting for. I am aware of the several occasions when you have inquired about my memory, Lord. Are you still able to perceive me? I'm confident I can see you. I have regularly noticed you. You have never slipped my eyes, even for a millisecond. My light shone on you, even in the darkest places. I was in closer proximity to you than your very breath, even in your most profound despair. You mistook my stillness for an absence, but it was not. It was an act of preparedness. Although you anticipated my coming, I was also prepared for yours. The delay was not a form of denial, my dear. It was a divine strategy. With each passing moment of waiting, you were being shaped, reinforced, and sculpted into the vessel capable of carrying the blessing I had created. You would not have been ready if I had reacted early. But now, you are prepared for what is to come, and I am prepared to discharge it. You were bewildered as to why others seemed to obtain their stuff quickly while you remained in a mood of expectancy. Lord, you contrasted your path with theirs and asked, "What about me?" My child, are you uninformed that your journey is unique because it was precisely built by my own hands? I did not mean to inflict a penalty on you. I was protecting you. I was safeguarding the miracle until the time came when your heart could completely accept it, your faith could sustain it, and your soul was sufficiently fortified to prevent losing what I was providing. I am not a neglectful father. I resist the temptation to pour out too soon. I release at the optimal time, and this message confirms that your time has come. The delay you perceived was actually the compassionate hand of heaven, ensuring that everything was in alignment for your benefit. Every night you lie awake, convinced that I was silent despite the fact that I was near to you. I listened to each prayer you said, even if you thought it was trivial. Every moment of weakness, desperation, and tiredness was not wasted. I collected them all. I integrated them into the tapestry of your fate. You felt abandoned, yet you were being merged into a force you didn't understand. Even though you felt abandoned, I was the closest person to you that anyone could have been. I was rearranging the sky on your behalf, despite the fact that you thought you were at peace. This is why I've brought you to this moment, to enlighten you in my own words. I have seen, listened, and remembered, and now I am responding. Child, you must comprehend that my timetable is distinct from yours, and my methods are distinct from yours. You thought the wait was a waste of time, but I saw it as a sacred undertaking. Although you did not notice any activity, I was laying the framework within you. I was teaching you the value of endurance, reinforcing your soul, and sharpening your faith so that you wouldn't be overwhelmed by the answer when it came. Are you unable to perceive? If I had given you everything at the time of your request, it might have been too much for you to manage or slid through your fingers before you could grab it. You are now prepared, having been through the fire, the waiting, the nights of sorrow, and the days of effort. You are more resilient than you realize, and I am willing to backtrack on my promise. Despise not the seasons of waiting, for they were not punishment, but rather a form of preparation. You learned to rely on me when everything else failed due to the waiting. During the wait, you learned to trust my voice because the rest of the world was confusing. During the waiting period, your character was formed, your judgment was enhanced, and your heart was opened to receive previously unattainable wisdom. You were not remaining motionless. You were growing roots that would serve as a foundation for you when the winds returned, roots that would keep you steady when the bounty arrived and its weight was burdensome. The waiting was a gift I gave to you, despite the fact that it felt like a burden. At present, the results of that season are about to be disclosed. We kindly request your support for our channel, as our sincere objective is to inspire you to walk in devotion and reverence toward God and bring pleasure into your life. And if these messages have inspired you, please consider supporting us by clicking the Super Thanks badge below. I recall several occasions when you asked for a sign from me. I recall how frequently you indicated a wish to confirm your presence with me, Lord. This, my dearest, is that confirmation. I am currently employed by your organization. I've never abandoned you. I have retained every message in my heart and have heard every prayer. You thought your prayers had fled into thin air, yet they were received by my throne, and I responded even though you were unconscious of it. I was coordinating events, moving emotions, rearranging pieces, and organizing details. I was working beneath the surface, interweaving strands in a manner that was beyond your comprehension, which is why you were unable to observe progress. And now, at the appointed hour, I am revealing the plans that have been in the works for an extended period.
Odd? You can ask, Lord, why was it necessary for the pain to be so severe? What was the cause for the prolonged duration? I beseech you, my dear.
I've never taken delight in your misery. I never took delight in your agony. Nonetheless, I realized its importance in preparing you for the task at hand. You were subjected to trials that eliminated what could not be retained, just as gold must undergo purification by being exposed to fire. Weeping nurtured the soil of your promise. The foundation of your destiny was fortified by your fortitude. I never squandered one moment. Every second was monitored. Each measure served a purpose. The season has now changed. Joy is gradually replacing the seemingly never-ending misery. The weeping that you believed would never cease are exchanged for laughter. The load you felt is fading, and the resolution you sought is approaching. You are not forgotten, my children. You are not imperceptible. You are deeply loved, chosen, and observed. I have always operated from behind the scenes. I was resolute in my support of you during your most vulnerable moments. My spirit interceded for you when you were unable to articulate your prayers. I was breathing strength into your heart when you thought you had lost faith. You are no longer unsure about this information. Preparation was the reason of the observed delay. What you perceived as silence was actually a strategic maneuver. My hand was surreptitiously at work, which you took as an absence. And now is the time when hidden information is revealed, requests are answered, and expectancy is replaced with breakthrough. Therefore, please hear me clearly. I am in the process of responding. I'm verifying. I am fulfilling. The circumstance is not arbitrary. This is not an accident. This is my heavenly appointment to visit you. Every word I am uttering at this moment is intended to instill hope in your heart and serve as a reminder that you are not forgotten. This moment is the consequence of solitary prayers, sleepless nights, and concealed tears. I am pleased to inform you that the delay is now over. The response is nearing. The moment of truth has arrived. This is your indication. This is the heavenly response to your deepest cries. This is the guarantee that the delay you perceived was always a result of divine preparation. Depend on me, my love, since I am dependable and will never disappoint you. I am aware of the hidden loads you face, the challenges that no one else really comprehends, and the grief you hide behind the solitude of your heart, my precious child. I've watched as loneliness crushed against your soul like a heavy shadow, making you wonder if anyone actually understands your predicament or sees you. However, do not disregard my message. I observed you while you thought no one was paying attention. I was there while you sat silently in a crowded room, feeling invisible amidst the discussions of those around you. I was there when you wished for someone to reach out, listen, or simply care, but you felt forgotten. I never forget about you. You were never concealed. I carried every feeling of alienation and yearning for connection with you. I reminded the heavens that you are my treasure, chosen and adored beyond measure, even when you believed no one valued your presence. The ache of betrayal that struck your heart was obvious to me. The individuals to whom you had entrusted your time, affection, and loyalty betrayed you, leaving behind scars that are beyond words. You were left shattered, puzzled as to how those to whom you had opened your heart could cause such pain. Perhaps you thought it was silly to trust, aim, or love.
However, I must assure you, my kid, that it was not folly. It was affection. I will never disappoint you, regardless of what others have done. I was present when you grieved in silence, when you replayed conversations in your mind, inquiring about where you went wrong, and when you questioned your worth as a result of the treatment you received. I implore you to listen. Their betrayal does not define your worth. Their acts are not related to your identity. I refer to you as cherished, selected, and precious, and no rejection can change that. I hugged you even as they left. Despite the fact that they violated your trust, I maintained my loyalty. I observed your financial difficulties, the times when the burden of bills and necessities pressed down on your chest like a stifling weight. I saw you tally coins and wondered if there would be enough to cover tomorrow. The quiet dread that arose when unexpected expenses arose, when you questioned how you would make it through, was seen by me. When you felt you had nothing left to contribute, I noticed a sadness in your heart as you desired to provide more for those you loved. I affirm that I was present. I documented each requirement you encountered. I provided you with the strength you needed at every moment when you believed you would not survive. Because my hand was beneath you, you did not collapse from the weight. The provisions you received, the last-minute aid, and the doors that opened just in time were all not incidents. These were my interventions. I was teaching you about trust while you were worried about a lack of it. You were apprehensive about scarcity, but I was influencing your faith to believe that I am your provider. My child, you are not alone in your hour of need. I will furnish, provide, and prove that I am sufficient. I observed the difficulties you faced with your health, the physical discomfort, the mental exhaustion, and the struggles that others were unable to perceive. As you lay awake at night, your body was fatigued and your spirit was pleading for relief. I was present. I studied the physician's reports that made you feel discouraged. Unspoken concerns about the likelihood of healing never occurring were expressed. I recall your attempt to maintain a pleasant mood when others inquired about your health, despite the fact that your heart was racing with fear. I must inform you that I was present during those occasions. When your body was feeble, I sustained you. You were fortified by me when you believed you were incapable of continuing. My hand supported every breath you took. I am the healer, and despite the length of the journey, my efforts have not halted. Please do not think that I have ignored your pleas. Please do not believe that I have disregarded your suffering. I am always present with you and will bring about restoration in the way that is most comfortable for me. If you are my hiding place, God, then He is your safe haven. I observed the unanswered petitions that burdened you. I witnessed several occasions when you talked to me in the dark, asking for change, imploring for a breakthrough, and wishing for miracles that seemed to be postponed. I saw the tears you wept when the answers did not come in the way you expected, when the stillness stretched longer than you were willing to tolerate. You asked me, "Lord, are you paying attention? Lord, are you concerned?" And my response is affirmative. I was attentive. Yes, I am concerned. However, my cherished, the delays did not indicate abandoning. They were not neglected. They weren't malicious. They were timing. You prayed and I moved, even if you couldn't see it. I began to align myself in response to your inquiry despite the fact that the proof was hidden. You felt your requests had gone unanswered because the response was still being prepared. I can assure you that not a single prayer was squandered. All of the words you said, every tear you shed, and every moment you surrendered in faith were received by me, and they have been incorporated into your destiny. Soon,
You will observe the actions I have been taking throughout the entire time. I noticed the burdens you carried alone, which you never shared with others. I noticed how you tried to smile for others while internally feeling like you were crumbling. When you awoke in the morning, I observed the weight that rested on your chest, and I wondered how you would endure another day. I observed the present's weight, the regrets of the past, and the dread of the future. In addition, I avoided declining. I've never abandoned you. You thought no one would notice. Nonetheless, I did. You were under the notion that no one was worried, but I was. You assumed you were alone, but you were never really alone. I was present for every concealed moment, every silent struggle, and every unspoken dread. I assure you that those challenges do not define you. You were never meant to be broken by them. They were meant to refine you. I shall transform the enemy's wicked goals into positive outcomes. I substantiate each emotion you experienced, my dear child. I do not belittle your pain. No, I do not downplay the gravity of your challenges. I do not urge you to proceed unless you understand the scope of your ordeal. I was present and witnessed every detail. I am here to ensure that none of it was squandered. Every scar will narrate a tale of survival. Each suffering will be transformed into a testimony. Restoration will finally replace every loss. Each unanswered prayer will eventually be revealed as a prelude to something more significant. You did not endure in vain. I have supported you throughout the entirety of this ordeal, and I will persist in doing so into the future that I have envisioned. Therefore, my child, lift your gaze. Do not allow the shadows of loneliness, betrayal, hardship, illness, or delay to convince you that you are forgotten. You are being observed. You are valued. You've been selected. What you've been through has prepared you for the breakthrough that is currently taking place. Believe me. Please find solace in me. Keep your firm devotion to my pledges. I am the God who redeems suffering, recovers what has been lost, heals what has been broken, provides when there is a need, and answers prayers when they appear mute. This is a guarantee. I noticed you when you thought no one was looking, and I will never stop seeing you. Please listen carefully to my words, my dearest child, as they are heavy with the weight of heaven. This is the confirmation that you were seeking. Lord, you begged me in whispers, sighs, and requests that were too profound for words. Please present me with a sign. Demonstrate that you are still with me. Please let me know that I have not been neglected. I have came today to react to you with a voice that should not be ignored. These words are not meaningless right now. They are not a consequence of coincidence. They are the supernatural assurance you've been waiting for, delivered directly from my heart to yours. Refrain from questioning it. Don't second-guess the circumstance. I tell you that this is the confirmation you've been looking for. You inquired as to whether doors would ever reopen, if opportunities would ever arise, and if you would ever enter the future I had promised. I can confirm that entrances are indeed opening. Before your very eyes, I'm unlocking doors that were once tightly sealed, doors that no man could force open, and doors you thought were forever sealed. I am a celestial entity capable of opening doors that no one can close. I am the God who makes a road where there seems to be none. The obstacles that once stood like towering mountains in front of you are being erased. The chains that formerly shackled your feet are breaking. Does it resonate with you, my child? The metamorphosis in your spirit, the resemblance in your soul, are not the result of your imagination. I'm the individual in question. That is an indication of emancipation, confirmation that the route is becoming clear and you are about to start a new season. I am aware of the several occasions on which you expressed doubts. I recall the number of times you suggested that it was all in my imagination. Perhaps my impression of God's promises was wrong. It is possible that I misinterpreted the situation. I beseech you, my dear. It was not anything you imagined. You did not make an error in judgment. I spoke with you back then, and I am still speaking with you now. I have not changed my opinion about your existence. No, my assurance has not transpired. This message is the undeniable miracle in motion, and what I have spoken will come to pass. Although you believed that I was anticipating your arrival, I was actually in the process of coordinating the appropriate timing, location, and individuals, and as a result, everything is proceeding smoothly. This isn't a fantasy. This is not about wishful thinking. This is the reality of my influence in your existence. Can you see how I brought you to this very moment? The conclusion was not reached with each delay, closed door, or disappointment. It was part of the planning for this specific hour. You assumed that rejection meant failure, but it was simply a redirection. You thought silence signaled absence, but it was actually a strategy. Although you believed that loss was a form of punishment, it was actually a matter of positioning. And now, beloved offspring, I am verifying that none of it was squandered. I am currently in the process of combining the threads of your life to form a stunning design that is only now being revealed. This affirmation is founded on more than just words. It is substantiated by proof. You will see my hand at work. There will be undeniable miracles. You will pass through doors that no man could have opened. And when you do, you'll realize I did it. This is the confirmation you wanted when you said, "Lord, please demonstrate that you still have a plan." I can now tell you that not only do I still have a plan, but it is currently being carried out. It much exceeds your expectations in terms of size, depth, and force. The barriers that formerly scared you will crumble like dust beneath your feet. The radiance of my presence will dissolve the fears that once bound your heart. The overwhelming evidence of my power will put an end to whatever reservations you had. I am executing it, my dearest. I am the one manifesting the miracle. And no one, nothing, or force in heaven, earth, or hell can stop it. As you can see, I am not the deity of confusion. I am not a deity who makes half-hearted commitments. I am solid and unambiguous. You have frequently asked confirmation, which I am delivering to you at this time. This is not the initial indication that I have provided you. I have spoken to you in moments of encouragement that came from unexpected sources, in opportunities that appeared when you thought all was lost, and in whispers of quiet that arrived just in time. However, I am surrounding it with this undeniable word since your heart yearns for more. This acts as confirmation. It's this notice. This is the miracle in action. Wondering is no longer necessary. You're no longer obligated to inquire. I am present and in the process of moving. Be aware of your surroundings, my dearest. Although it is not yet entirely apparent, shifts are occurring. The pieces are moving into their appropriate locations. The doors are currently actively swinging wide. The chains are dissolving. I have brought you here to inform you that this marks the commencement of a season of fulfillment, and I want to ensure that you do not overlook it. You should not be concerned about my presence as you progress. I want you to act with solemn assurance, knowing that this word confirms and assures you beyond doubt. Remember the time when the adversary tries to whisper that you are forgotten. This term should be recalled when dread attempts to convince you that nothing is changing. When doubt attempts to persuade you that this is intended for someone else, recall the way it pierced your spirit and stirred your soul. That was me. I was personally verifying to you that I am faithful, guided by my spirit. My darling, you asked a miracle. You requested a sign. I am now informing you that the miracle is not imminent. The miracle is already happening. Angels are now dispatched on your behalf. Resources are currently aligning. Even as we talk, hearts are softened, doors are opened, and hurdles are overcome. You will soon be able to see the realization of your deepest goal. Upon viewing it, you will be certain that I was the one who responded. This was not an accident. This was not an accident. This is not the work of a human. This is the fulfillment of God's promise. This is the marvel that cannot be refuted. So, my kid, rise and keep a polite manner. As you begin this new season, walk with faith. Do not be burdened by the disappointments of yesterday, as they have no influence on my current actions. Do not allow the past's dread to obscure the present's happiness. Don't let the enemy steal this assurance from your spirit. Safeguard it. Hold it in high respect. Keep it in close proximity. This word is the anchor that will hold you steady when doubts arise, the light that will lead you when the route appears uncertain, and the fire that will keep you moving forward when obstacles try to stand in your way. This is your indication. This serves as your verification. This is a miracle for you. You do not need to inquire again about my presence, beloved. There is no need for you to reevaluate whether I am listening to you. You are not necessary to question about my level of worry again. In this instance, I have demonstrated it to you. I am present. I'm presently engaged in chat. I'm verifying. I am in the process of relocating. Advance with assurance. Enter the doors that I'm opening with confidence. Acquire the marvel that I have initiated. This is the evidence you were looking for, the indisputable response to your screams and proof that I am steadfast. Take it, believe it, and live in it. It is yours. Share this message to encourage someone who is waiting for God, and type Amen if you are certain that your miracle is on the way.